That as well. Welcome back to another episode of Crack On. I'm joined by Conrad Lee from SCFC Fan TV. How are you, mate? How's lockdown treating you?
Not so bad. Just plodding on with my day job and then waiting to see if Sunderland ruin me nights on my weekends now, just sort of seeing how it goes. What about yourself?
Oh, well, it's starting to really annoy me. I'm getting a bit sick of it, to be honest. It should be over and done with by now. You know what I mean? It should be done. But what can you do? Well, I'm just going to sort the live chat out because, on mine, it always stops.
I've been your first like on the video as well.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
There, we're in. I've sorted the chat out, so people should be all right now. I'll send the trades out. Not so, Lee. Is your name Lee or Conrad? It's Conrad Lee, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Conrad Lee, but either's fine, mate. If Lee's easier, that'll do. If Conrad's easier, that's fine.
So we beat MK Dons last night 3-0 and we progressed to the next round in the Papa John's Trophy. We might be going to Wembley. Has the draw been drawn yet? That's
no,
I don't even know.
I saw someone put out on one of the socials today there. They think it's like the 16th or 17th that the draw's made on there. It's going to be, what is it? Lincoln, Oxford or Tranmere?
Is that February?
Yeah, it's February. Because I think the final's the 14th of March, someone said.
Right,
Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong.
Just sent that tweet out. Right, so we're sorted. So how do you thought we played last night then, Lee?
I think we did all right. I thought it was that same sort of thing as the Gillingham game. We were on top of them until we scored. And then once we scored, we sort of settled back in and sort of let them sort of have a bit of pressure on us. I thought Luke O'Nien was great in the midfield. I thought I'd noticed this, but no one seemed to mention it. Early on, we were tackling them really well and really hard in the midfield and a lot of sliding tackles going. I mean, you saw their pitch. That was obviously perfect for it, but just a lot of hard challenges. And I thought, I haven't seen this in months. People actually going full in on each other and trying to sort of take a bit of the man as well as the ball and sort of thing. And I thought, this is more of what I wanted to see instead of just going, I'll shoulder him a little bit and see if he sort of moves off it on there. But no, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the game, actually.
Well, that's funny. Funny you've just said that, Conrad. I've just done my match preview, literally, and I said exactly the same thing as you've just said there. Luke O'Nien really impressed us in the middle of the park. And I noticed that once Lee Johnson had to put him at left back because of McFadzean gone off injured, you could really tell the way we played, the way we dropped off, and it just wasn't the same. As soon as he went out there, I just hope that he does start Luke O'Nien again on Saturday. But will he? What do you think he will? With it being in the league rather than the cup?
It depends now, doesn't it? Because, I mean, I think he'd ideally wants McFadzean in at left back unless he's going to do... I always think, is it Vokins or Vokes that we've got from Southampton? Vokins. I think unless they can really sort of get him up to speed and go, right, you're going to be left back, they're probably going to shove O'Nien there and go, you were there the other night. Let's just have one more game of it and we'll see where we can from there. But I don't know. I'd really want him to be in midfield. And I know me and Jack Dodds a few weeks back, we were he was saying he should be in midfield. And I was like, well, we've never really seen him there. And when we did at the start of the Jack Ross tenure, it wasn't like he was setting the world on fire, No, he was doing the job. But then from watching just 26 minutes last night, it was enough to make me think you'll be our best midfielder in there if you actually get a run of it,
You've just reminded us there. No, another thing I was going to mention. I've got a screenshot on my phone.
Aye.
Did you see it on Twitter? The wage bill.
Yeah. I did. I was looking at this earlier on. I was doing maths on this. So yes, this is a good thing. Yes, go on. Sorry.
Have you seen who gets what basically?
Yeah, I have. It's shocking.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? How does the EFL expect Sunderland to get down to $2.5 million a week?
Something like that. Yeah, it was, and it wasn't even there's a grace period. You have to get down bit by bit. It was kind of we want you there now, and it was hang on, what are you talking about? You want us there now? I worked out So you know, there's that other picture that was a few weeks back against Ipswich, the out of contract players that it showed.
Oh yeah,
Here's the
yeah.
11 of them. So I thought, just for a laugh, let's work out how much that is a year if all of them left. And I did it today because I was really busy at work. So it is 4.37 million pounds. If we got rid of all of the players who are out of contract, so that's like Burge, Diamond, Graham. Graham's gone, but I counted him in it anyway. Hume, Ledbetter, Maguire, McFadzean, McGeady, McLaughlin, O'Nien, Power, Scowen, Willis, and Wyke. 4.3 million pounds we'd save a year.
But where would we be without them players? That's
exactly. And how many are we still going to have next year based on those wages and that?
And that's exactly what what the EFL expects Sunderland to do about that. When really, if we do that, we'll be struggling to probably keep in the league. Let's be honest. Mentioned there. One shock was, and standout one for me was Jack Diamond on £610 a week.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I think
I got a shock for saying that.
This is his first proper year in the team, really, isn't it? Like, I don't know how old he is, but probably only 19, 20 or something like that.
20 years, But another shock, what was much more shocking than that, Scowen is on £8,000 a week.
I kind of thought, when I saw that, I was like, because don't forget, he came from sort of like being in and out of the team at QPR in the Championship. So he wasn't like on the bench or not even involved. So it was kind of like, it was a little bit of a coup when we got him, even though he didn't play for the first 6 months or whatever. So I can imagine us going, actually, yeah, we're going to need to throw some money at this lad to try and get him here. And
that's what I think they've done with O'Brien from Millwall as well, wasn't it?
Oh God, I didn't even see him. 6.5, and then Danny Graham 6.4, man.
Look, Max, you laughed, didn't it, when you look at some of the prices what they're on? Will Grigg on 6.
Actually, that was less than I thought. Actually, for Will Grigg,
honestly,
I was like, I couldn't believe. I was like, geez, I thought it was like 10 or 12 for Grigg. That's
what I thought. I thought he would have been on good money, especially considering. Well, that is good money, but I thought he would have been on more considering we paid £4 million for him. You know what I mean? And
he was in the Championship, and I know he wasn't playing, but still, you'd imagine he would have asked for a bit more than that. But then you got Benji. Didn't he sign a new? Well, I thought he signed a new deal, or no, he didn't. He mustn't have done if he's on this, but he's on 890 as well.
I honestly believe once he gets into the team, he's going to be a good player. You know.
Yeah.
He was trying to force a move. No one wanted him. Then he got his injury, so hopefully he can get fit and come back into the team. He was.
I'd like him in the team. I really would.
I would as well. He was an exciting player, Kim Bioka. He had some pace as well. That's what we were missing, really.
Embleton 4.3. I wonder if that's based on his new contract.
Jesus, is that Elliot Embleton? £4,300 a week.
For a 21-year-old.
Neither wonder they sent him out on loan. I thought it was less than that.
I think that must have been his he signed a new contract the other day, didn't he? When we
for a year when we loaned him out.
So
I get you.
I wonder if it's a case of there's some extra. Don't go anywhere.
Probably. I'll just quickly jump into the chat there. See who's
no bother.
Hello to Jason Ashman, Travis Conlon, Conrad Lee, all right, mate. Clayton Edwards, all right, mate. And Stephen Usher, who'll be on, if he's still up for it, Friday. And Woodsy 92. Have I missed anyone there? No. Can you all share it and let everybody know we're live? Thank you.
Jason Ashman made a meme of me the other day.
Did he?
Yeah. That's when I thought, he messages us on Instagram and he was saying, because I was saying before the game, in the chat, people tell me Sunderland have scored before it actually comes through on the stream. So I saw it was 2-0. So all I did was I was looking that way and I knew it was coming. So I turned around and went, that was all I did. And he's now clipped it up and put when a fit bird walks past you in the shop.
That's good. You should have put it on Twitter or something. Go and share it.
No, I need to. He'll probably send it over to us again, so I can do that. Fine. I sent it to my mates, I'm a meme. Look, I've made it.
Well, that just brings us on to my next question, Lee. Conrad Lee. I keep saying Lee. It's because Lee. Well, I've just showed you what I need to be wearing, and I can only say that. I keep thinking.
Don't worry. Either's fine, mate. Either's fine.
No, Conrad, I was just saying, what's it? like to be a YouTuber now? How did you get into it, and how are you finding it? Really?
Quite like it at the minute on there, but I tend to take a back seat on the old social media sort of thing. So I don't look at comments. I don't tend to interact with a lot of people on it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not just me. Like, so your channel is you, and you are all parts of it on there, whereas I'm just a part of the Sunderland SAFC Fan TV. So if I'm not on social media, that doesn't matter. The channel can still be Michael, can still be Terry, Sean, Jay. I think he said Jason, but Jacob, Dino, all of them, and Philly as well. I don't need to be present on it on there. So I think I tend to sort of be like, right, game's finished. Right, I'm going to go do something else now for a bit on there. Do you know what I mean? I'm not there going like, what's happening with this? What's happening? I have a look when we're sort of getting set up and stuff, but it wasn't, I don't know, because when I was at uni, I did like video production and sort of all sort of like stuff like that and sort of like making videos and editing them and stuff like that. I sort of thought like, oh, well, that's what I'll have to do. I will have to be something like that. And me and my mates tried a bit. One of my friends has got a like an Instagram channel that he does now about games, and he does that, and he's got a YouTube channel too. But it's just everyone did it who could at that point in their FIFA videos, Call of Duty compilations and stuff. So it was just, well, what do you do? So I didn't get into Sunderland Fan TV to be a YouTuber. I was very much just been there. I'll do the editing, get myself back into the practice of doing it, and sort of see where it takes us. And then it started to be, oh, can you come on Thursday? Can you run our live streams? I'm going off for a bit now. Can you do everything? And it was like, yeah, go on then. I'll give it a go.
I think people warm to you on the FCFC Fan TV, especially in the watching sometimes like they like the ear and the cat who keeps in now and again. So have you been noticed out and about? Like anybody says, oh, there's Conrad off SCFC Fan TV, or
not yet like that, but I mean, everywhere you go, you're masked up now, and I tend to wear my beanie hat down to about here, and I've got my mask on till about there. So I'm like Paul Lambert when we were playing Ipswich the other night, just on the pitch, like no one can see me. I'm fine.
Hide out the way.
People wouldn't even recognise us, because I said to Terry the other day, he went, that new lad we signed, he went, oh, he's 6'4", he's massive, and I went, I'm 6'4", and he went, you're not. You seem like you'd be like 5 and a bit feet, and I'm like, so people aren't going to recognise me anyway, because I'm. To
be honest, I thought you were about 5'9", 5'10". I didn't think you'd be 6'4". Fuck, I'd be looking up at you like that. So I'm only 5'9.5". I like to say the half. I've got to say the half.
The half's the important bit in it. No, I'm rather tall. I mean, a few of the lads, so Sean and Michael, I've met personally when we've gone and played five-a-side with. Right. If you've seen Cass, who's been on the channel a couple of times, he sort of got five-a-side, and a few of them in the chat we all go and play. So I've seen them, but I'm rather tall, and I don't think people realise that yet.
Yeah. So you play centre back.
Yeah. I can, five-a-side, I can try and play centre forward because the pitch has to be quite little, so I don't have to try and do it. But yeah, I've got to play centre back because I don't like to run. I don't like to move anywhere.
Do you know what? I used to be really fit, and I took my son out running, but I thought I'd just like sort of jog a little bit so he doesn't get left behind. And because I was doing that on my knee, every time I gone out to run, if I'm out running for more than 10 minutes, it feels like there's something on a snap in the side of my leg, like on my knee part. And it's really nightmare when I want to do cardio. I just can't seem to do it.
No, I had to get a couple of like knee supports and stuff like that just for playing, because I used to. Mine it was fine, and then obviously lockdown weight came on. So then when I went back to it, my knees were like, Jesus Christ, who are you carrying when you were running about? Like, so it's fine now, but I mean, I haven't played football since about August, September now, so I don't know what it'll be like if I ever get back to it now.
I've been playing for years, mate. That's just reminded us, there's where Terry was added us into the group chat on WhatsApp, and they're doing the football thing at the stadium light.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, you'll be on the other team then.
They got me on it, and I was thinking, Jesus, I'm going to be really unfit. To look at us, you think, guys, medium build, he'll be fit. I'm not. I'm really not fit.
You'll be on the other team to me, because I'm on the other side. The lads, so Carl Stewart won the one that Terry's in.
Right.
And that's where they've probably asked you. And Cass, who was on our channel, won the other one.
Oh,
and he knew me, Michael, and Sean, so we're on the other team.
Are you fast? Like, dash.
I'm not fast, but I'll take a big stride, so I can keep up with people who are quite quick.
But
So
you will be taking big strides at 6'4".
It'll take me a while to sort of like, if it was like 100 meters from not running, nah, I'll never catch anyone on there. But if I've got a running start with you, I'll keep up with you, but I won't. I won't be running past you.
I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to start. I took my son out on the bike, and he had his electric scooter. And from my house, I pedalled to the stadium and back. And on the way back, I couldn't breathe because it's uphill, and I just really couldn't breathe. So I'm going to have to start.
I know. I keep forgetting that's going to be in it's February now, so that's like 3 months' time. And I'm sitting there going
100% on.
Well, I mean, I don't know at the moment. There, do you know what I mean? Like, I think they're going to wait and see what goes. Because all they'll do is they'll either just defer it for a year or till the start of the season or something, won't they? But if it is, it's going to be in like May or end of May. And I'm not doing I'm not even walking anywhere. I don't even leave the house unless I have to go for a shop at the minute. Like, so
that's me. That's me. I'm literally doing no, but either sitting on this chair or in the car driving. So I'm going to have to start training. Like, really, even if it's just for an hour, just going out. I'll only show myself up. And you know what Terry's like? He goes running everywhere, didn't he? So
he's mental with his runs. Like, he'll be up and down that pitch all day long. Like, I think Philly will be subbed off.
He was telling me, I seen him at the stadium, and he was telling me just before lockdown, he was saying he's not bothered as long as he can vlog the day now on his camera.
Yeah,
like that. Just as he's about to come on with the camera, and then he's going to pass it to someone. We were laughing. That was
that'd be good. That'd be a right video. That I think some of them. I mean, obviously, we don't want to take away from the fact it's like Carl and Steve's day really on there. They're the ones who've organised this for us there. So I think it's very much like. We don't want to be like, and then we want to do this and we want to do that. It's like they've invited us there, but I think yeah, definitely. Like for me, it's just about being there. All I want is just a picture of me running about on the pitch or something like that. I mean, in the back of my mind, I'd love to score, even if it's an own goal. I'm all right with that. Like, because then for years I can sit with my mate next to me when he goes, I think the shot should have been done like this, and I'll be like, speaking as a person who has scored at this stadium. That's all I want.
That's class. Well, do you know what? If I ever get a chance, I'm just going to be ball greedy and I'm just going to hit every.
I'm shooting every time, even from my own half.
No, my mate who's coming on, he was supposed to be doing this with us, but he's been busy with work. He works at Nissan, and he's coming on Friday. Well, I think he is. I'll have to message him again.
Steve, he's in your chat with you, saying he's up for it.
Oh, good, nice one. Yeah. He's played at the stadium and he scored a few goals there. His Instagram is him like scoring at the stadium and that, and it does look good. I just want to do that. What will they be doing with like? Do we get given shirts and that, or you might not know yet?
I don't know, but I thought because. If we're in this sort of, even if we're sort of in like partial lockdowns afterwards where they can play and what have you like that there, I think they'll probably try and be like, can you bring your own? But they might do like, here's a shirt for everyone and you can just keep it like as a memento, like because of like, they don't want to then take it back off you if you're, like sweating in it and what have you like that. They might be like, there you go. Or unfortunately, we might have to say, if you wear a match shirt, you have to buy it. But I'd buy the shirt I was playing there, even if it's already one that I've got. I've got home and away this year, but I'd still buy the one I played in.
I'd do it. I'd buy. Hopefully, I can get the home one because I've got the away one. I like the look of the away one, so I just thought I didn't want the home one and all. And to be honest, I started to like the look of the away home one more than the away one now. So hopefully I get the home one. I'll go and buy that.
I bought the away one the other day and I sort of put it on. Thankfully it fits, even though I might have gone up a few sizes. And I was looking at it and I was like, oh, this is all right. It's quite smart. And then I was like, you might play at the Stadium of Light in this. Now it's a bit like, oh my God, I'm going to play at the Stadium of Light. Like, it sort of just comes into your mind. Like, it's going to be good.
Even if I get like 5 minutes on the pitch, I'll be so nervous.
Aye.
We've been gone there so many years as fans, and then to walk out on the pitch, I'd be mad. Like
it'd be crazy.
It's unreal. It was the best.
I think literally the first time a ball comes to me, it's just going to roll under my feet, or like when you go like hoof it out, like you're going, simple 5-yard ball, and you'll boot it out for a throw in or something like that. And you're just like,
it's going to be really bad for all of us because we criticise the Sunderland players on a daily basis. Who's played shite, who hasn't, easy balls, like you've just said. And then for us to be playing, oh, imagine. And I've heard on the chat that Carlos Edwards says he's up for playing as well.
Oh yeah, he's on our team. Yeah.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah. He was on our channel.
Danny Williams, isn't he?
Who?
Danny Williams.
Darren Williams.
That's what Danny. Darren Williams. Sorry.
I think Darren Williams is on yours. So no one will be getting past him at centre half, and then Carlos Edwards will just be pinging worldies in for us.
You know what? Sunderland 11 with Matthew. I think you've heard of him.
I did it. I've been on it.
Did you dig it? I'll have to have a look.
I
didn't say that. He's asked us to dig it. How hard that was to pick me favourite Sunderland team. And anyway, I've picked Carlos Edwards for his goal. That what you're talking about, the 3-2 against Burnley. I screamed it in the top corner. It's the commentary as well of Simon Crabtree. It gives you goosebumps. So I'll be probably starstruck watching him. I'm going to tap him out. First chance I get, I'm chopping him in half.
I don't think I'd get anywhere near him. Like, do you know what I mean? Even if I was like, I'd probably walk up to him and be like, I'm going to get the ball here, and he'll be gone before I've even finished doing a couple of steps. I was like,
I know, it's got me really nervous. Yeah, I'll just quickly jump on the chat. Say,
yeah.
If you see anything, mate, if they're talking to you, just shout them out.
Well, Matthew Leeds put one on, but you just promoted his work there for the My Sunderland 11. That'd be good watching your one. I'll be interested in that.
Do you know what? I've picked me before I got on there. I picked me team, but then I'm going, oh no, I want him in. He asked us for the manager, right? And I wanted to pick an older manager. Then I was thinking, no, and who really goes out the shit, and it's I just keep going back. He asked us for it the other day, and I'm going on tomorrow. So it took us.
Good that
he kept messaging us, and I was like, I can't message him yet. I haven't got a clue.
I picked a team off the first people that came into my head, and I was like, yeah, I like him.
Right.
And then as I was doing it with him, I went, I've missed out Sessegnon, I've missed out Mvia, I've missed out Kirchhoff, I've missed out this guy, and I was like, thankfully I got Kevin Phillips in there. You can't not, but you just listing people. I was like, I've left him out.
Because yours has been up. If you didn't mind us asking, who was your starting 11? I've already sent mine.
What was it? I went Sorensen in goal, just because it was him and Mignolet were neck and neck sort of thing. But Sorensen for the penalty save against Shearer, Bardsley, Nyron Nosworthy, just because I love the man.
Do you know what? I totally forgot about them. Totally forgot. The song and all. Can't get the ball. Nyron.
Kabul, just because I think by the end of his first season with him, when he was crying because we'd stayed up, I was just like, I love this man, and I think he gets it. I went Van Aanholt at left back, just because he's the only left back I think that I can remember from my time that did all right. Mickey Gray was a bit before me, so I don't really remember it that much. And then you had George McCartney, all right, Danny Rose for 1 year, Marcus Alonso for half a year, and I just remember Van Aanholt was here for a while, and I always thought he was pretty decent.
He was.
I think I did 3 in the midfield, and I went Sana, Catamol, and Hutchison. Just because I thought Sana and Catamol, no one's getting past any of them, and if they do, they're probably going to lose a leg. When the tackle comes in. And Hutchison was mint when he played for us for that year. And then Bent, Quinn and Phillips.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it mine, but I've got a few players what you've just said, but I've got you can tell that even though there's only, how old are you? If you don't mind, 30. I look 45, but I'm 30.
I
know, man. I'm a little bit older than you, and you can tell the difference in my team selection to yours, if you know what I mean. Didn't get us wrong. There's a few players what you've got in your team who I was going to pick, and I actually wrote them down. But then I changed my mind. I took this one out. It took us so long today. It really did.
It's harder than you think when you actually have to sit there and go and then you forget people, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there going, "Shit, what about him?" He was an absolute Sessegnon. I couldn't believe I'd left him out, and I was like, "Oh well, it's too late now." I've already set the team in.
I think.
I need a subs bench.
I'll give you the spoiler, and anyway, the two up front is exactly what I picked. You cannot not pick them, Quinn and Phillips, can you?
Yeah. I mean, I bent with them, but that was based on his goal record. I played 4-3-3.
Each career went like that. As soon as he left us,
Oh, he just fell off, didn't he?
He should never have left us. He was getting into England team. He scored. How many was it? 24 in one season or something like
24 in the first, and he was already on 12 by like middle of January in the second season.
that.
And he wasn't even playing well, but he was on 12. So
I'll just quickly jump to the chat because of Matthew Lead said, everyone hit the like button. Aye, go on, everyone hit the like button and share one button and all. Not many people share the videos as well. In YouTube, it's just the same as, like, say, on Facebook or retweet on Twitter. There's actually a share button on YouTube, and you can just share it into other social media platforms.
I know, I need to learn to do that because I saw one the other night and it was playing on Twitter, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant. I need to learn to do that.
Well, it's where it says live chat. Well, you've got like, dislike, live chat, and there's like an arrow pointing that way, and it says share. It's just you press that, and then it brings all your social medias up, and then you just share it into there. But where was that?
Do that.
Whether all 11, no Defoe.
I argued with Defoe. He was like sitting there with it was Quinn and Phillips, of course, have to be in there. They were the two. And then I was like, do I pick Bent or do I pick Defoe? And of course, Defoe is the nicer human being 100%. And the general better person.
Right.
But I think it was, I literally just went on who's going to score. And Defoe in like 80 games for us scored like 30 odd goals. And Bent in about 50 games and still scored one more goal than him.
Aye.
And I was like, I just can't argue with his goal return. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Aye. It's one of them really, because Defoe, like you say, I went on it. I looked at it a little bit different. I would have looked at it like Defoe eyes goals, but then I looked at it as like what type of person he was, like what you've just said there, Conrad. I said like, look what he done for like Bradley Lowry, all the like nice things he done for the kid, the charity work for the East Foundation as well.
Even in Rangers, he's still doing charity work now for them all. It's fantastic.
That's what I mean. It's like things like that pipped it for me on my selection as well. It's too hard, man. You can ask any Sunderland supporter, and I guarantee every single one of them will struggle somewhere.
Easy. We're never going to get a unanimous team.
Nah, you can't. Even from people from a personal point of view, I didn't think they would just sit there and go, right, by themselves. I'll write my 11 down straight away off the belt, no question. You can't dig it, man.
No, we did one as a live night. I think it was in December. Like the Sunderland best 11 that we did, and like obviously Philly and Terry and Sean were putting in people like, I can't even remember names, so I'm going to butcher them. But like Jim Montgomery got mentioned, and we were all like, well, yeah, I've seen the videos and that, but he's not my keeper. He was before my time, and stuff like that. So
Jim Montgomery was always remembered for that like double save what he made, wasn't he? And it's me, one of my mates' granddaughters.
Oh, is it?
Well, great granddaughter, I think, or great granddaughter, something like that. Anyway,
yeah.
It's if you didn't know the player and you've never watched him, why would you put him in your starting 11? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's personal. You just on the live chat. I was saying say the other day that your mum was in the live chat.
Sue Pierce when she's on there.
My mum's in the live chat.
Nice.
My mum says, "Get in, Paul, son, my boy." Kiss, kiss. Hey,
so that's what you got to do. Extra viewer if you get your mum to watch it.
I know.
I do.
Rovers One vlog says, "Remember that volley from Defoe against Newcastle? Wow."
Well, my mate went down for a pint and he missed it.
Well, who did? Yeah,
my mate who I was sat with.
Oh, right.
He went. I'm going to go to the loo and I'm going to grab a pint for half time. Because if you remember, when the ball's literally up in the air, you can hear the commentator going, there'll be a minimum of 1 minute added time, and then he volleys it in. So he missed it. Oh. He was down the bottom.
To be honest, we played crap that game and all,
Oh, we were shocking. And even the 3-0 the year after, where Colaccini got sent off, we were getting battered.
I was so relieved when he got sent off, because I could see them beat us that game.
I thought they're going to get us here. They're going to get us. And then when Colaccini, I will say wrongly, got sent off, because it should have been a yellow. It's a yellow card and a penalty. You can't do it, send him off. But I'm glad they did. I was happy they did. It changed the game for us.
It was definitely not a sending off. Just
not for a shoulder charge.
Just what you were saying earlier about Kabul. A lot of people warmed to Konya, and in my opinion, if it wasn't for Kabul, Konya wouldn't have been the player he was.
Yeah, same. I think that
he looked after him so much.
They definitely helped each other so much. Like I think it was someone, I can't remember who I was talking to, but they were saying it was like a language barrier, that Kone only spoke French when he first sort of came here, and Kabul could speak French, so he was like the link between them all. Like, I need you to be here, and then telling the rest of the players like, you know, what we're doing. So I think he sort of like looked after him that way. But yeah, they were a unit together, them two, and then when one of them went, it lost the other one.
I always remember. After this, I've got to play something off for Konya, Kabul, sorry, because I remember after I don't know what game. I think they were there at the stadium but they were training though. Can you remember the really orange fluorescent shirts? They were taking a training day there. Me, my partner, and my son were there, and Kazri got out the car and. My partner went, "Can you get a picture?" And he ignored, like he was like, getting in the car. And then Kabul looked and he went, "Get out the car, out." Kabul got him out the car, and there was him, Konya, and Kabul together. And he made them get a picture with us. And I was like, "Oh, I'll not forget that." And I never did. I was devastated when he left. Like,
yeah, that's sound that like when they're just good people and all, like you know, like just stuff like I do see the other ones where like. You might have seen it. This is a long time ago, so it wasn't like good quality now where you film it on an iPhone. This is like someone filming it on a brick sort of thing. Like when Nosworthy came out of the ground at one point and someone went, "Oh mate, can I get a picture?" And he went, Yeah, of course. And they handed Nosworthy the phone and all sort of stood there like this. And he still went, "All right then." And just sort of like did it. He just had a bit of banter with it on there, you know, and it's just
I remember coming at the stadium and the band wanted his shirt signed or a picture, and we went round the back after the game because if you stood around there for 10 minutes, they come out. And I always remember Darren Bent. He come out and he just walks straight past everyone, and there was about 30 people trying to get a picture. He didn't get one picture. He just straight into his car and drove away. And I thought, you fucking arsehole. And my partner was saying, "Can he have a picture?" I went, "Stacey fucking ignore the cunt." And he heard us, but he just kept on walking. I thought that's not nice, that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what type of game you've had. You've got to give time for the fans. But
when I loved him as well, like he was worshipped up here.
Really good. Like I was saying with Kabul and all them getting a picture. Watmore did. Pickford did. Defoe did. I think it was Pickford. I didn't think Pickford was the first choice either. Then Defoe did. He jumped. I think he had Van Arnold did as well. He had like a matte green Mercedes, and he got out of it.
Nice.
They weren't bothered. They were like getting pictures, but Darren Bent, he rubbed us up the wrong way when he done that. Like,
I remember once. It was a mate of mine's nephew came with us, and he was on like, this is how bad I am at guessing ages. So when I first met him, I was like, "Oh, he's called George." I went, "Oh, George is a nice young lad. How old's he? Like 10, 12, something like that." And they went, "He's 6." That's how bad I am at like guessing ages. I was like, "Is he? Jeez, all right, okay." So we were stood outside trying to get players' autographs. It had just been Sunderland 1, Everton 1. In, I want to say, I think it was Poyet's season, like where we were there. So, and Jagielka had just the week before scored that absolute volley at Anfield, where like last minute, right in the far corner, like equaliser. So players were coming out, you know, what have you, like that. And George was there with his book ready to get him. I was just trying to be like yourself, just going, "Oh, can we have an autograph? Can we have this?" So Jagielka was walking past, and I went, "Oh, Phil," like I know him. I was like, "Oh, Phil," like, like Jags, mate, Jags, yeah. Like, "Oh, can George have an autograph?" And he sort of like nodded, like, yeah. And he sort of like came over, and I went, "Oh, George, this is Phil Jagielka, plays for Everton, England international, scored a goal at Anfield." And George went, "No, thanks." I was like, "Oh, sorry, Phil." Like, I felt like this big. I was like.
That's funny that. I would have shrunk if my son done that.
I was a bit like, "Oh, sorry, pal." Like, he doesn't care.
Let's go crack that man when kids are just not bothered when they're too young and they didn't realise. It's just, nah.
I'm like, he plays for England. He's been to a World Cup for us. Like, I don't really collect autographs, but I'd take his autograph.
Get it for me.
Yeah, I'll have it.
I remember getting a picture of Andy Reid as well. He's just coming to me for some reason. He was all right. And Alan Hutton, that round about that time.
Oh yes, he was on loan. Yes,
from Aston Villa, I think it was, wasn't it?
Because we couldn't afford his actual wages because he was on that much at Villa.
All right. Well, what do you think about the new players? And we'll just quickly move on. The new players.
Just one comment, just because it's similar to what you were saying about Darren Bent. Whether all 11. I was at Hull away when we won 1-0 and Bent scored. I was with my dad and tried to get some photos with the players. Darren Bent did the same thing, forced his way straight past and into the car and drove off. And we were good that year as well. Sorry, you were asking about the new players.
Just quickly on that, it's a disgrace when players dig it, and it's even worse when you experience it yourself. To be honest, if there weren't that many people there, I would have ran up behind him and tripped him over or something like that.
And then as he's injured for the next few games, and everyone blames you.
I know, then I would have got 30,000 people on my back.
Exactly.
Like I was saying about the new players who's just come in, not forgetting Winchester as well, who was earlier on in the window.
Oh, yeah. I thought Jones was unbelievable the other night on there. He still had a few misplaced passes, but he's been in and out of Rangers team at the moment, and he's not going to be messy. Do you know what I mean? I'm not expecting him to hit every single pass that he makes, but a couple of times we mentioned this on the stream as well. We got the ball, just took it past the man, gave himself half a yard, and he kept going where are you? He kept looking where is anyone? And it was just that desire just to sort of see him be oh wait, I'm trying here. Where are you? I'm like, that's the attitude I want. You're dragging them up with you. He was just direct. I thought he was really good. Did the others play? No, the others didn't play because Votkins was cup tied. So can't say. It'll be good, I reckon, on there. Especially, they must have done it if they're thinking Hume's out for a while. I would have assumed.
I had a little. I probably shouldn't say this, but on this channel I couldn't give a shite. I had a little small grin when McFadzean went off injured.
It was a little bit of me went, ooh, right, yes, that'll be good.
It was a little...
Hume and Votkins instead of you and Hume, yeah. He just doesn't know how to defend, does he? Or he just doesn't know. He knows how to defend, just not where to stand. That's been his problem with the goals we've conceded recently. He always seems to be in the wrong place. I'm trying to think who else we've got. Obviously, Winchester, like you said.
Stewart, obviously, he hasn't played yet. He hasn't. I don't know if he'll even get on the bench. Well, obviously, he's going to get on the bench. I'm assuming.
We have no one else.
I know. It's... I don't know if he'll start out O'Brien. He might be because all of his new players, he hasn't written apart from. No, actually, then again, come to think about it, he has started Jones, hasn't he? He put Jones straight in against MK Dons.
Jones went in. I think it must have been that Stewart, pardon me, was on the Friday. No, not Friday. Was the Sunday night or the Monday morning. So I think he probably hasn't trained or been with the team yet. So you can't put him in yet, so I think it's probably put him in. Someone actually, that was it. Lauren Kenny, if you know of her on social media or in the chat there, she put the other day that it was international clearance. This is why he couldn't go yet.
Oh, right.
So it's that's why he missed the one game. So I think he'll be. But if you think he's going to be, he plays very similar to Charlie Wyke, obviously a bit taller and a bit less mobile, I'd imagine. But that's a like change. If you sort of think, and then Jones and McGeady, you sort of think, okay, changes there. Hume and Votkins or McFadzean as well. Winchester can swap in and out with Ledbetter and Scowen and that. So we've got a lot of players who will play the system he wants to play still at the moment. So we haven't gone out and gone, oh, right, we needed I don't know, an attacking midfielder to replace the other one we have, because we haven't got one. We don't play with one. We play with the sort of the 2-2, don't we, on there? The sort of wide players, but they're not proper wide. They're sort of just in behind. So we sort of got people who we can be like, right, McGeady, you'll start, Jones, you'll come off, or Jones, you'll start, and McGeady, you'll come on. It's
for like.
Yeah, it's sort of he's built up competition in places, hasn't he? And I think hopefully they'll be good on there. I think Votkins should be good because he was in and out of Premier League squads at the minute. So you'd like to think
scored a class goal in the cup. Against Huddersfield. Really good.
That was a screamer, that one there. So hopefully he can do the same for us there. And Winchester looks okay. I actually, in the first half, thought he was good against Ipswich, but then a lot of people were saying his passing was shocking. So I think it's just, I saw him in lots of different positions. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just being like, I stand here when the ball comes to me or plays come to me, this is where I am. He was right. I'm on the left side trying to help here. Now I'm on this side trying to help over here. Just I like
think
effort.
I think with Winchester, he learned a lot from Ledbetter. Obviously, with Ledbetter being 34, he's really experienced in that position, and like you say, there's similar positions. So I wonder if Lee Johnson's thinking a younger version of Ledbetter.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be good.
Like you say, he was drifting. You were saying there's like we play 3 defensive midfielders, but with Max Powell playing at right back now and 09 will be gone in the middle, would you say he's more creative than defensive?
Who's this? 09? Sorry, which 09? We were talking about this the other night now because we were like, if we do proceed with 4-2-2-2, who are we dropping each time? Because yes, Powell's now pretty much our right back at this point. I don't think he's had a bad game playing at right back. He might not be the best, but he does the job, and that's which in midfield we can actually say you weren't doing the job. No. Whereas at right back we can say you are. So then you've got Ledbetter, Scowen, 09, Winchester, but 4 doesn't go into 2. So who's missing out each time on there? So I want 09 on based on I've seen 26 minutes of him playing as a central midfielder, and I think Scowen puts a lot of effort in. He doesn't always get his rewards, but he's always busy. He's always intercepting. He's always chasing people. So I quite like him. Ledbetter does a great job at sweeping up in front of the defence, and I'm sure we'll see what Winchester has to offer at some point over the next few games on there. But it's not it's obviously good for us to be like, he's got a selection headache now for who do you pick in that midfield, but I wouldn't like to pick between them at this point on there. Like, I think you'd have the fans on your back if you don't play 09 as a midfielder.
Oh, definitely.
Like, it's
what I went for. I went for obviously Charlie White up top. I would play McGeady on the left, and I would probably drop Diamond. Because I prefer him as like an impact player, like later on now when the team's a bit leggy and the passes are not the best because they've run out energy basically. And then Diamond comes on where he's placed and he seems better. Obviously I'd start 09 and all. So instead of Diamond, I would put Jones on the right. I don't know if he can play the right because I'm sure he plays on the left.
You've got Gooch as well who could play out there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got Gooch, Maguire, Gooch, McGeady, Jones, Maguire, I suppose, Diamond. Like, you've got 5 players who could fit in these 2 positions.
It's like you say, it's a really big headache to have. Do you know what? To be honest, Gooch had a good game, I think, against MK Dons on Tuesday night.
He's a pest. He chases people down. He runs, and that's what you want sometimes. Just a bit of intensity from the team. Someone's put it. Ted Potts has asked you honest opinions on Maguire. That's a good one at the minute. I always think, like, what do people think of Maguire?
I'll let you go first, Conrad.
All right, cheers. I know someone on YouTube always apparently writes down what I already think, even though I haven't mentioned it before. They always go, "Oh, he hates Maguire." Barely mentioned him. I just don't think his head seems to have been in it this year. Granted, he scored. I think he scored a penalty. He scored a good goal against Bristol Rovers in the first game. Shout out to One Rovers Vlogs, who's in your chat as well, the Bristol Rovers channel. I think it's Charlie. I think he's called. I just don't think he's bothered anymore. Like, it's almost this might not be the way it is, but it's the way it seems that I think he knows I'm not getting a new deal next year, and this is probably the biggest team I'm going to get. Because don't forget, we took him from a League 2 team, so it wasn't like he was kicking about in.
Was it Bury?
Yeah, but I think Bury got promoted with him,
then went down,
and then they disappeared from our league because they were no longer.
While you quickly mention him, I'll quickly get his wages up.
I think he was on like 5 or 6 as a guess.
4.4 a week.
4.4. I mean, he's not on the worst. You know what I mean? And considering we had him in our first season in League One, he's not by any means on the worst money that out of everyone there. But I just don't think he's bothered. No. Do you know what I mean? I think he's had a bad experience with Parkinson that he kind of turned around, and then since the COVID thing, he was just never the same.
I was just about to say that. You pinched me line.
Sorry, sorry. I could see it and I was like, I'm having it.
Well, what I would say, Garner, here is, I think Maguire's run off the boil since the fans are not there anymore. His heart's not in it. Like, I think he played better when he had the fans roaring the team on, basically. And now he's just like, he can't be bothered. You can see it in his play. He's not the player that he used to be. And I think, like what you've just said there, the deal, he doesn't think he's going to get a new contract, so he's just not asked.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong, but
someone put the other day, what was it? They were like, in the playoff final, if there's one player out of our entire squad I would want in that team to score as a goal, it's Chris Maguire. And I was sitting there going, I can see your point, but also don't forget, we've had a playoff final where he was there and he did nothing for 90 minutes. He had a shot before Charlton scored for us, and then I don't remember seeing him for the rest of the game.
The full team that day were terrible, to be honest.
It
didn't want to get up.
I know people don't agree with this, but I tend to think that game was completely different when Max Power went off. It would have been a different game if we might still lost. Like, Charlton were the better team, and even before the game, I knew going into that game, Charlton are better than us here, but we don't have to be the better team to win the game. We just have to be cleverer than them. And I thought we had a system, and then after 2 minutes, your system's changed, and you bring on Lewis Morgan, who's now admitted I wasn't bothered about playing.
No, it's horrible in what it is.
And then it was just after that, you're just like, right, I've never seen a team just so unmotivated to win a game of football. Just not bothered at all. It was just... Do you think that if Lee Johnson was in that same situation, say, the end of the season, but obviously the fans there, do you think he could get the team motivated, unlike what Parky could? Do you think he could? I'd like to... He's been to 3 playoffs, or he's been to 3 Wembley finals before, or like playoff finals, or cup competitions and what have you. And I think he's won all of them, or at least it's either he's either been to 3 and won 3, or he's won 3 out of however many he's been to. If you see where I come from, so he's won at Wembley, which is something we've never done. I'd like to think so. He seems like a very smart man. Have you ever watched that? It's a YouTube video called Masterclass. And it's like when they get football managers on to talk about how they set up tactically on a day to sort of like play. So like the Cowleys were on it, and they were talking about how they got Lincoln to beat Burnley in the FA Cup, and that's quite interesting. But
no, I haven't seen that. What's the channel called?
Don't know, mate. I'll send it to you in a link. But I think
I'll go and have a look. No,
it's really good. It's about 20 minutes, but it's about Lee Johnson when he was Bristol City manager, and how they beat Manchester United in, I think it was the FA Cup. It might have been the Carabao, but this is Manchester United under Mourinho in his first season, when they had like Pogba, Ibrahimovic. They were good at that point under them there. I think they finished second. That might have been the year after. I'm not too sure on that, but it was basically him talking about. So they lay it out as like almost like a Subbuteo board kind of thing, but with like little checkers for players and that. And he's like, I knew Pogba was going to do this, so we had to play like this with the ball, and he would drop into here, and it was just how he like. I never realized how much thought went into just one game. Like some games, I play Football Manager, and I'm like, go out there and win. That's my tactic. Like, win me the game. Like, whereas they're like setting them up, and he was like, we had the reserves training, like playing like them, and telling them to play a bit like this and a bit like that, and. I'll have to send it to you because it's such a good watch for him to explain it all. I remember
it. Do you know what? I didn't know this, but I remember that. Has Lee Johnson been called head coach at every club he's played for, managed coach, whatever you want to call it?
I would think so. I mean, if it's like, I think it's probably one of those. It's official head coach. Do you know what I mean? On like his contracts and that, but. Like people will say manager, like it's the same thing. It's the same thing in my eyes, but I know the club will see it as it's a this, it's a that.
I'm sick of seeing it, me head coach. Like I just see a manager. Like if I'm on social media, I'll just see a manager because it's. I don't know.
People know what you mean,
I just quickly got in the chat a second. My mate Stephen Usher says Paul hates Scowen. Do you know what? I did hate Scowen but I didn't hate him. I just thought that he weren't the best. He was just running around like endless chicken. He couldn't hit a barn door for love nor money.
Oh God, his shooting's awful.
He's still kind of, but The past two or three games, I've been watching him constant, like probably, and I've noticed that when he tracks back, and he's like final interception near our goal, it's been improved in the past couple of games, and I can understand why he has been getting in the team. And I've actually on my match preview, believe it or not, I've put him in my starting 11 for Saturday, and because I've seen how much he's improved. But there was times where I was thinking, I'm worried because Lee Johnson is persistent with Scowen because he knows the player of previous clubs, and I was worried. But the past couple of games, I think that Scowen's been playing better, and I'll give credit where credit's due. He's, for me, apart from his shooting, he's upped his games a little.
Yeah, he definitely has. I was the same. I don't think he worked under Parkinson though. It's not the same. And then it's obviously we're still very new into this Lee Johnson way of playing. So it's even though he's been 11 games now, we're still very early on in this day. And I won't really judge Lee Johnson until maybe we're 10 games into the next season when he's had another little go at it, because he inherited this team, and some of them do have a bad attitude, and he'll be working on that. And then he's brought his players in, and it takes a long time to turn a ship around, you know.
Do you know what? The ghost of Parkinson was lingering for quite a few games after that match as well. After the second, sorry. So you've got to give them. People say, give them 10 games. You can't give them 10 games. You need to give them a season, or even a season and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
You can't just give a manager like 10 games, turn it around. Hang on, he has to get rid of the shite. He has to bring his arm players in. He has to get them playing his way. The formation's changing. Like we were playing a back five with the wing backs, and it was diabolical for so long under Parky. So,
and he has to then learn about the players he does like and how to get the best out of them and manage them. It takes a long time. So I get what people say, see after 10 games, but I think see after 10 games is an attitude of like, if we were in the Premier League still trying to avoid relegation or even trying to be mid-table, I'd get that logic, because that is the goal. Our goal is promotion at this point on here. So it's a case of, I don't need to see that. I mean, great. If he gets that within 10 games and he starts to make us challenge, fantastic. But I'm smart enough. That sounds bad. It's like saying I'm smart enough to realize it's going to take a long time to do this. So even if this season we didn't quite make the playoffs, no blame on him. For that on here. Like
quickly, somebody wants to know. It's Ted Potts says, would you lads rather go up this year via the playoffs and go straight back down like Charlton, or have a few more years in League One, then go up the ladder back to the Prem like Leeds, for example? Now that is a good question. That is. We've had our few years in League One, though.
That's what I was going to say. We've had our few years. Like, can 3 years be enough? Do you know?
I know, please me more. This has got to be our time, because we've had a few years in League One. But what I would say that is obviously I wouldn't want to go up to come back down. Definitely not. I think we've had our time in League One. I think it's time now to cement our place, maybe for 1 or 2 seasons in the Championship, maybe 3, and then build on from there. But no, League One's. I've had enough of League One. What about you, Conrad?
I think I'd never want to come back down here. Do you know what I mean? On there, like, it depends, because if we put up a fight in the Championship, I'm all right. If you're talking like we go up like we did under McCarthy in the Premier League, and we're literally getting battered pillar to post each week, like, I don't want to have a season of that, which is just what's going to happen every game. You're going to get beat, you're going to get embarrassed, and then you're going to wait until March or May till that R is next to your name, and then you're like, well, great, we know where we are next season. If it's me at this point on here, if you're talking, would I go up now to come back down, or would I happily have this season and next season in League One to give us a better chance of being stable? I'd probably take 1 more year to think we're going to be stable and we're going to be better, because I trust him. I trust Johnson at the minute with his decisions and his team, whereas at the end of the Parkinson one, it sort of got a bit muddied, because he was terrible and then he was good, and then it just started to sort of like muddy the water a bit. And then we were, get off the light, you. We were a bit like, it just started to go a bit wrong, losing to Coventry, losing to Portsmouth, and Gillingham throwing away 2 points there with seconds to go, losing to Bristol Rovers. And you were like, I think it was getting ready to be like, hang on, this isn't good enough. And then COVID hit, and it sort of like I don't want to say it gave him a free pass from Parkinson there, but it was kind of like everyone was sort of stuck in that. Well, would he have done it or would he not? We're sort of like he's been terrible.
We're in limbo.
He's been good. Yeah, like where would we have actually ended up? And I think that's why the Wickham thing sort of hurt so much, because it was like, well, how do you know we wouldn't have got there? If we'd have played one less game, we were in there. Or if we'd have played 2 more games, who's to say we weren't second, you know?
You tell me, I know it was probably because it was new, but COVID's killing 1,800 a day, the highest. Back then, when they cancelled it, it was nowhere near that. But yet, all football's still allowed to go ahead. It's just, I don't know. I thought they jumped the gun with cancelling the season back then. And
it was a lot of teams going, "Oh, we can't possibly play on. You know, we rely on the money." And then those teams 2 months later are now playing a full season.
Exactly.
Like, and you're like, "What's changed in 2 months?" Like that could have done it on there. It would have made more sense to be like, "Do you know what? We'll let the Premier League and everyone sort of rushed back in." I think really we could have literally just sort of gone, "Do you know what? That season we'll finish it at some point."
Exactly.
We don't need to rush this. At some point we will get back to do this.
I didn't understand that, mate. Why did they have to stop it? And then, this is what's going to happen. They should have literally, like you've just said, paused it, and then restarted it up.
Because I wouldn't have cared if they'd have been like, say, even as an example, they'd have been like, right, we stopped in March last year. We're not going to start up again until March next year. We'll play some exhibition games, some tests to get crowds back in, like they were doing with Brighton and Chelsea. Just sort of let's just, maybe some random cup competitions for charity. You could have done, some sort of stuff like that. Just keep teams afloat and what have you, and staff on furlough. I know that's not the best option, but and then sort of maybe got up to like January or even December time and go, right, we'll start now and we'll end the season in like March. Give us a big long time again for pre-season next year and the Euros as they got delayed and things like that. But
they could have exactly, but like you say, they didn't, and then we ended up not gone up. And
it was that thing of like teams that were like, I know it gets brought up on our channel all the time because it's a divisive point of like, I would have done what Wickham did if I'd have been in their position.
We all would have, to be honest, but look where they are now.
It's that thing of like, teams knew because they'd already worked it out where they were going to finish. So the ones who were happy to stay with, so if you were like a big team under threat of relegation, but you knew that on points per game you were going to stay up, you were like, yeah, end the season, it's fine. That's what got another year. Like, what do you remember before they announced the Premier League was going to sort of go ahead? Teams like West Ham, Bournemouth, I don't know who others are, but they were all in there going, just end it, end the season, null and void, we'll start again next year. It's like, of course you'd say that. You're getting 100 million for next season. Like, of course, like this is happening on there. Whereas teams like Liverpool are going, hang on, we're going to win the league, like by a long way. Like that's not fair. But it was that thing of like Wickham knew, hang on.
No, go on, man.
We say if Wickham knew, if we say no, they'll let the playoffs carry on, and we're in them.
No, and they wouldn't. I didn't think they would have went up if it got to carry on.
Yeah, it should have been that thing of like, if you're saying no, I don't want to carry on, that's fine, but you're then not allowed in the playoffs either because you didn't want to carry on like that. Like you said no, because then teams who could have got the players would have probably gone, I will play on, like to see if we can do it. Like.
And just going back to what you were saying, like we didn't get to finish, so that's how I think Parkinson got that extra time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
because of the limbo.
It was in limbo, and I think he got that extra time, like the following, like the next season, like when the new season started after the COVID, he got that little bit extra time where if it played on the way we were gone, we were just dropping for fun. I think we had a chance to get an automatic. So I can't remember how many games. I think we had 3. How many games was there? 3 games in hand or something?
Which season's this? Sorry, Parkinson or Ross?
Parkinson. Might be in the season before them.
The season before we were in like February with like 2 or 3 games in hand.
3 games, wasn't it?
And then we drew the lot of them.
Why did he not get the sack then? That's what I can't understand.
I think for Jack Ross, they were always like, you're in and about it. Like. You kind of there or thereabouts. You will get this right. We are a decent side, and it was April that cost us, really. I know we'd lost points before, but in April, we won 1 game out of 6. And you're like, and then we drew, 1 game out of 7. We drew 3 and lost 3. We lost more games in April than we did in the entire rest of the season. And you're just like...
shocking when you look at it like that. But I think at the beginning with Stuart Donald, right, he had the fans eating out of his hands. Really, there was it was like a class relationship. He brought the club and the fans back together, where Ellis didn't have it like that. And if we went up that season, I think it would have been totally different for him. I think he went with his heart instead of his head with Will Grigg. Like he wanted it. I think he wanted us to go up that much. Like he was, and I think he was thinking about the money as well. Like I'll get massive amounts if I get them back in the Premier League. But he was like, if I get Will Grigg in, I'm gone off his record, and we gone back up, we'll be laughing. Do you know what? I didn't think he was just doing it in the beginning for just the money and all. I didn't. He didn't have to have that relationship with the fans where it was with the club and the fans like that. He could have just been like, right, I'm the boss. I'll keep everything behind the scenes, and we'll just play on from there. But he didn't. He had us like as if we were like all one, like a family club, if you know what I mean. And then it just went all wrong.
I loved that year, that season. I remember feeling like, I've got my Sunderland back here. We've got people who care, seem to be in charge. And I don't even in the back of my mind going, even if he is just buying us to go up and then sell us in the next season for a profit, I don't care. He came in and gave us exactly what we needed to be like, we've gone up. The problem was when it didn't work. And like, that was like, it was just, I remember, I think we spoke about it on, I don't know which show it was. I've done so many now. I'm so popular. We were talking about the Charlton game, and just when that goal went in for Charlton, just this like feeling of like helplessness that like, shit, there's nothing we can do. It's actually over. Like I would have rather they'd have just won 2-0 and just they were the better team throughout the game and what have you there. It was just the way it went in. And then there was that realization of like, oh shit, we're in this, like all our work has just been pissed up the wall in this game on it. We'd have all, like you were saying before about Will Grigg, I don't know, we wouldn't have done the finances behind it, but we would have all made the same mistake in buying Will Grigg.
I was out of Will Grigg. When he first came, I was thinking, oh my God, what a signing that is. I really was hand on heart. That's what I was over the moon.
I was buzzing. Like I was playing my mum, Will Grigg's on fire, and getting texts like weeks later, just going, I've still got that song in my head. Like, and we didn't even get to do it once. Like, just it was
horrible. Like, but like I was saying, with Stuart Donald, he got all the record attendances away, record attendances at home for the League One. He had it. I think they knew that if we didn't get up this season, this is not going to be like this then the following season, because you've got all the fair weather supporters who's only there when we're winning, and they haven't got like the diehards, the likes of us and many more. But you know what I mean? Like I'd support them if they're in the conference. You know what I mean? I'd still gone. I still do videos on them as much as I'll be gritting my teeth digging them.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's just such a shame that we didn't get up that season. And
yeah, it would have all been like. I mean, yeah, he would have sold us, and maybe he'd have sold us to someone bad, and we'd have gone on. Do you know what I mean? Wrong, but
and about the takeover. While we're on about Stuart, the takeover. Obviously, there's been like a held up because the one clarification the EFLD off Stuart and that. The one them to invest for 2 years. Why would they want them to invest for 2 years when we've got a billionaire who's got the majority share? Like, is the majority shareholder there?
It's strange. I tend not to bother with the takeover stuff, me, because
I don't know.
Just goes on. Do you know what I mean? It just never bloody ends. Like so.
It's been over a month.
Was it Christmas Eve? And then it was like, when we're still here now on February. Let me check. 3rd. Still now.
6 weeks or something.
It's just daft.
Somebody. The chat. I've just refreshed it and it's went right the way down. Stephen Usher, me mate again, says, I've scored more goals at the stadium than Grigg. He actually has.
Yeah.
Because he done a few games with his mates at the stadium. I don't know if it was a charity round, but he scored more goals there.
Did you see the other day, someone put on, if Danny Graham had played 8 more games for Sunderland and not scored, he would have had a worse goal-to-game ratio than Mark Poom.
Jesus, that's bad, isn't it?
I know, that's shocking. That like,
considering he was a goalkeeper.
it's tragic. Like,
I was quickly jumping in the chat again. Thean's joined us. If you haven't subscribed, go and subscribe to Thean. He says, I think we will all be happy when we signed Will Grigg. In the end, just didn't suit both clubs. And the same, Grigg's attitude was shocking as well. I totally agree. His attitude went off. Grigg missed more sitters than Altidore. Well, it's Tommy says, I agree. Frankie, mate. What did Frankie say? Frankie, did you say it?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm getting blamed for all sorts of me here. Like,
without going back, Philip Stout, we must get out of this league this season. End of. We would have the funds to strengthen the team in the championship. I didn't know if we would have the funds, would we? If they take our guns ahead, then we might.
Depends, it depends what really happens with all that, doesn't it? If they actually let it go ahead and what have you.
Yeah.
What could be like the Saudi thing.
What do you see in Frankie? Conrad out for that, Frankie?
It was at first on the live streams. It was a thing where because we hadn't won for like 8 games in a row, and I was on him, so I was the jinx.
Oh, yeah, I get you.
And then now at the minute, it's because Sean's having a break from our channel at the minute. They think I push him out.
Aye. Oh man. If he's having a break, he's having a break. He can come back if he wants.
Aye.
It's his choice if he's having a break. Well,
so get used to seeing me, lads, because I'll be here for a long fucking time.
Yeah, I enjoy all of you, every single one of you. You've evolved on separate opinions and you're on little ways. Just got to learn. Like I don't know. I didn't want to get into it, so what to do with me. You know what I mean? But I like every single one of you who's on it. Do you know what I want to ask the rest of them to come on, but I feel shit. You know, and she's to say no.
Oh no. I think at the minute you get a lot on. I saw Dino did he did Fans React the other day, and then I've done.
To come on. I've been on these as well.
I did the what was the thing? The 11 that you're doing with Matthew Lead as well. I don't know if you know Carl, the Black Cat podcast. I think he's called it on there. He's trying to get all of the guys on at once as well on there, but he's got me on Friday, so that'll be guaranteed 6 views, which are all my family watching the same thing on there.
I know I'll go and watch it, so you'll have 7.
Oh, nice. Cheers, pal. That'll be great. Just to fuel my massive ego.
I know, man. Hey, do you know what? I like to watch you on there and anyway on SCFC. I like all of them, like I said before, especially when you see Dino, he sits like that.
Oh, yeah, he just faced it.
He does.
He's brilliant, yeah.
He's not in the mood now. It's just the way he is. Yeah. I laugh right off at him, especially when our people try to wind him up in the chat, and it's just banter, but he bites.
But he's got his own little he's got his own fan club in the chats now on there that are all every time he speaks that are just like Dino. I think it's like at the minute everyone's sort of like it's that thing. At first everyone was like, "Oh, I hate this. He's just dominating everyone," but then it's become like his thing now, and everyone loves it.
Do you know what? I think Dino talks a lot of sense. He does. He say if the team's shit, he'll say the shit. If he says we're scraping games, which he has been saying recently, so I've been watching, and I tend to agree with him. If we play shite and we're scraping games, why can he not voice that without sticking in the chat? If we're shit, I'll say it. I'll fucking say it on here. If we're playing shit, I'll say we're playing shite. You know what I mean? But you can't give someone stick just for that opinion. You know what I mean? But
yeah, exactly. If they've got a different opinion, exactly. I think there's a lot of things missing from where someone just got like, if you and me disagree on something, I'm not going to dislike you for it or say, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about here. Like, that's just how we see the game. Do you know what I mean? Me and Jack Dodds have had a couple of back and forth a few times about stuff, but I don't sit there and go, oh, well, that lad's this and he's that and he hasn't got me.
Exactly.
You get on with it after you've done it, you know.
That's what it is. That's what it's totally. Do you know what with Jack? He knows his stuff in the air.
He does. He's really smart, Jack.
When he's like having a disagreement, I didn't think it's him thinking he's better than anyone or he's the best and he knows the most information. I just literally think that's his opinion, and that's he just thinks something different of what you think, and that's why I have. To be honest, I had him on here the other night for about 2 hours. I forgot we were even live. We were just cracking on and talking, and then I was like, "We've been on 2 hours." We're like, "I know."
Yeah, exactly. No, it'll be good though. He like you say, he knows his stuff and he knows exactly what he's on about, and he's very good at what he does. He knows everything.
Right, gets a few kind of good celebrities like ex-footballers,
I
commentators.
need to know he does that. Like that's incredible. He's pulling power. Like
someone that probably tell us to piss off or they ignore it. What I mean, but he's doing well. Right, I'll just look at anything else I was going to ask you. The promotion chances, Conrad.
We're still up there, aren't we? Oh, go on, sorry, mate.
Do you honestly think that we've got a chance of promotion? Like dissected, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we do now because we're 5th, 6th at the minute, only 8 points off them, and games in hand on some, not on the others. They've all got to play each other. We've got to play them all again. So we're only I didn't realise we're only halfway through the season.
Exactly.
Like 2 games over halfway. So we've still got plenty of time to go and get points on the board and do it on there. It's just we all have a different opinion of it because we know Sunderland. Like that Gillingham game, as much as it was annoying, I don't think anyone was shocked when we conceded a goal at the end. Everyone sort of knew that's typical Sunderland this on there.
Exactly. We'd see it coming when we were 1-0 up, which from 7 minutes we just sat back. And I think I can't afford to do that in games now because, like you say, the Gillingham games cost us, and I didn't want to drop any more points. Basically, do you know what? I know it sounds mad, and some people have disagreed with me on this. I've said that we've got to watch out for Oxford. We really have to.
Yeah, they're picking up.
They are the top of the league for form. They're closing the gap on us, regardless of people didn't want to believe it. They are, and they're always a second part of the season team. They always start slow. If you look back for the past couple of years, they've started slow and then they've picked up later on. And they're on one of them runs now where I think they've won 6 games in a row, or seven or six games. In a row. So
it would be just that thing for them to sort of not do us over, but like, what was it? I don't think we've beaten them once since we've played them in the last few years at all. I think it's always either been a draw or.
Did not beat them this season?
Did we?
2-0.
We did. Yeah, you're right. But before that, I meant before that, Chelsea, mate. Before that, I don't think we'd had any sort of like, apart from like 1-1s and bit like that. But like you say, they were a second half of the season team. And what was that second game of the season? We rocked up there and we won 2-0, like second game of the season. So yeah, I think we've got to watch out for them. They're still in the Papa John's as well. So we could have them in the semi-final.
Do you know what? I didn't give a shit about that, mate, honest. If fans are not going to Wembley, so that's why I didn't care. If we were gone, I would have went down. I would have enjoyed the day, and I wouldn't have drunk because I can't remember the last time we were at the final when we played Portsmouth. I'd start drinking with my mates on the way down on the coach, and I had like 8 cans with us. And by the time I got off, I was like falling all over. I can't remember that. I fell down the stairs leading up to the stadium, and I was in a state, but. I wouldn't drink if we were allowed to go on, but with the COVID, there's no chance we're going to be allowed. No way.
Oh, exactly. But we might win just to annoy us that we never win with fans in, and the one time we're not allowed to go, we'd win.
That's Sunderland. That will happen. We'll probably win, and for what? For now, and then we'll knock on up this season.
Yeah,
that'll be
just one of those things. I'd like to have a trophy though, but I know what you mean. It's promotion's the number one goal.
It's pointless, really. It's a what do they call it? A tin pot trophy.
Yeah, but I suppose it's the most realistic one we've got a chance of winning because we're not going to win the FA Cup here and we're not going to win the Carabao here. So I don't know. I'm all right with it. It's one of them that at the start of the season, you tell me, I'm like, I can't be bothered with it. But then now we're here, 2 games to go. I'm thinking, go for it. Like you've already done all the hard work anyway. Like, why throw it away now? Let's try and win it,
Exactly. So with that, we'll wrap it up. I'm going to ask you your score predictions for Saturday. And when I get off, I'll probably end it and I'll message you after because I didn't know how to turn it off I didn't know how to turn it off YouTube without ending it all together. I've done it every one. I kind of find out how to do it.
That's all right. Don't worry. I'll help you out when we get off.
No, I mean, I'll just end it all together off for you. I'll not even be able to see your face anymore.
Oh, right. Fair enough then.
I think it says end, and then when you press end, it'll say something else and something else. I keep turning it off altogether, so the camera's gone off.
No worries. I think maybe we'll get a 1-0. Well, 1 or 2, because I think they'll try and be a bit more, do you know what I mean, like restrictive of us on the weekend. I think they'll try and make things a bit more difficult than we found the other night on there because I just think they would. They're not going to play the same way on there and play into our hands. They'll make changes. So And I'd take a scrappy 1-0 at this point, 3 points, go back up to whoever we've got. I don't even know who we play each week now, and I just sort of get reminded each time by like, "Are you doing the stream with this team on Tuesday?" I'm like, "Yeah, go on then. If you can't fill it, yeah, then that's fine."
Well, I'm with you, to be honest. The games are coming thick and fast in February, so I'm not like, as soon as that match is done, I'm like, oh, we're even playing, and I'll have to go and
we'll be playing in 2 days' time. Like,
right, and then it's on to the next one. Literally, you have to forget it and move on. The games are coming that quick. But I'm similar to what you've said. I can't say them playing the way they played on Tuesday night. I can see them being more solid at the back and restricting us with like, us having more chances, basically. And I've gone for a 2-0 though. Hopefully,
I said 1 or 2. 1 or 2.
1 or 2. That's what I'm saying. 1 or 2. Like you say, scrappy 1-0, happy days, and then we'll move up the league.
Yeah, exactly. And then hopefully, I don't know what was the score the other night. Did Portsmouth Portsmouth won 3-1 over Charlton, didn't they, last night? So someone else who's lost points on us.
Charlton's on the way down.
Did you see that, by the way? Marcus Maddison's been loaned out to Bolton in League Two.
What the crack is that? I thought he signed an actual contract, like a proper.
I think he got a 1-year deal, and someone said he fell out with Bowyer, but I still thought he'd still get a League One team. Yeah, I still thought he'd get someone.
The 19th in League Two.
And then we weren't trying to get him at the start of the season. It's crazy.
I wonder what that's about. And it's exactly true, or
maybe like if Parky didn't like McGeady's attitude, who did now wrong. Imagine what he wouldn't have liked with thingy.
Exactly, Jesus, imagine that. But I seen that. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. I think in our next game, I'm not even sure. I'm going to have to quickly have a look after.
It'll be Tuesday, probably, won't it? Because we're playing every other day.
Oh, it's definitely Tuesday, but I don't know even who it is. I'm sure it's Doncaster.
Ooh, is it? They're flying high at the minute, like Doncaster. Oh, Shrewsbury, 7 p.m. on Tuesday.
Oh, is it? Well, I've just played them and all. Just quickly in the chat, Stephen Usher says 4-0, Scowen hat trick. He said that on purpose. He's laughing.
2-0 Graham and Greg to score from Frankie.
Somebody call. I don't know if you can say that name, but I didn't even want to pronounce it because I didn't want to upset the person. It's Sudica. What? Sudica. Is that right?
Yeah, looks about that. Aye.
Sudica collection. Thanks, Stephen. Oh, I think
I think it's because he's from. Where did he say before? Greetings from Lima in Peru. So you had someone in Peru watching. Yeah.
All right, Peru, mate. Yeah, he says, I write to you. I follow the team here. I have a fan page of a team supporters in Lima. My name is Colbert Elevester. I think that's right. I'm sorry if I said it wrong.
Eslava. Yeah. Oh, lovely accent there, like.
Yeah, it's funny how you get just random people from. There's a lad who's been following us for ages. He's from Brazil, and he says
nice.
one day he'd love to come to the stadium and see how big it is and all that carry on.
It's mental, innit? People know about Sunderland outside of the UK. It's crazy.
I really want to visit Barcelona Stadium.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I've been on holiday right near there, and I don't know why. I think, but they wanted €200 just for the day trip. I thought, okay, €200. I
just want to get out of the house at the minute. That's my goal for 2021, just to leave the house.
Well, Conrad, mate, I think we've got to, considering we're playing at the stadium in a couple of months.
Yeah. Oh, geez, I need to go for some walks. Yeah.
Walks. I need to start running. Nah, I really do. But anyway, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me.
When's the next time you're on SCFC Fan TV?
Oh, I'm on every bloody show, mate. So it's tomorrow night. We've got the Thursday Night Live at 7, and then there will be a stream of the game on Saturday.
Who's on Saturday? Then who's doing the live alarm?
It's not even been decided yet, mate. We literally decided. I think it's about a couple of days beforehand, and then the thumbnails get made. So it'll be Philly. You'll always either have me or Philly because we run the live streams, so it'll always be one of us two. And then,
there you go. And when people's whinging, just say, "Listen, I've got to do the PC side unless we can't have a show." It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
It's not my fault. I'm so charismatic.
It's what can people say? You know what I mean? But anyway, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you, mate.
What's your Instagram? Shout your Instagram out. People can follow.
Christ, I don't even know it, mate. Like I said to you the other night, you sent us a story thing on. I went, I don't even know what I've shared.
Well, if you prefer Twitter, just shout your Twitter out.
I think it's the same. It's just @conlee_90. I think that's me on both of them. I think.
Aye. So there you go. Go and follow Conrad. He's a really sound lad. And also their CFSat Fan TV as well, because they've done plenty of shout outs for me. So I thought I'd give them one back. And congratulations on all of yous, Conrad, on getting 5,000 subscribers.
Cheers, pal. A lot of work from the other lads on there, really. I only joined in for the last 1,600, so it's mainly on them.
just quickly, I forgot. I'd like to thank you in any way, folks, when you were on live and they were talking about the poll, what was going round.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up and says no. Listen, he didn't want to do it. He says it's got nothing to do with him. It's like Lee Johnson in. I was just thinking to myself, oh, Peter's going to think, all right, Divvy. But then no, I'm glad you cleared it up.
Yeah, I sort of realised I said it and then I went, oh, geez, people are going to think he's the one who says Lee Johnson out, And I'm like, no, he didn't say that. He is saying, have you seen this? And what do you think?
Well, that's why I'm glad you cleared it up, because when I put it on, I was thinking, should I even put this on? It sounds so pathetic, but seeing that many tweets and videos, I thought, oh, I'm going after, but I didn't want to. I was in two minds. I thought, listen, I'll make it clear it's got nothing to do with me, but there you go. And a load of people did actually vote out. One of them.
Some crazy people out there.
Right. I'll see you in a bit.